Good morning, world. Cece here. Okay, I have another question for you. What would you do differently if you knew nobody was judging you? Seriously. Would you wear something different? Maybe your hair? Or go somewhere alone? Even out to dinner or a movie with just yourself? Say what you actually think? Of course, not to be offending with anybody, but just in general. Maybe you start something you've been wanting to start. What would you do if that little voice in the back of your head wasn't saying, "What are people going to think?" And here's the funny part. They may not be thinking anything. But let's take it one step further. What if they are? What if somebody's actually judging you? Okay, now what? I think I've spent a lot of my life caring about what people think or thought of me. When I was younger, a lot of it was probably about proving myself. I wanted to prove to my family that I could make it on my own, that I could be successful, that I could become somebody. As I got older, I think some of that shifted from family to just society in general. What does success look like? What should I wear? What should I drive? Where should I live? How much money should I make? Should I be married or should I be single? I mean, come on. Somebody can judge you for absolutely anything. Work too much, somebody thinks you just need to get a life. Don't work enough, somebody thinks you're lazy. Dress up and somebody wonders who you're trying to impress. Dress comfortably and somebody thinks you should make an effort. Stay single and they think, why aren't you taking the time to meet somebody? Get in a relationship and somebody has an opinion about who you picked. Good grief. Man, you can't win at that game. And I've got a much bigger example from my own life. At the time, I was an independent real estate agent for about 16 years, and I decided to open up my own brokerage, which was about just shy of 10 years. And towards the end of that time, life had changed. The fire happened, COVID happened, a whole lot of stuff happened. And looking back, I probably should have sold the company sooner than I did, but I didn't. And if I'm being truthful about it, part of what kept me hanging on was my ego. I had built this company. It was important to me. And somewhere in there was a question. What are people going to think if I close my doors or if I sell it? And what's that say about me? And what does that look like? Well, eventually I had to get over myself. Because you know what? That concern about my image actually cost me money. Literally. And that's when worrying about what other people think gets a little more serious. Sometimes we're not just choosing the uncomfortable shoes. Sometimes we're making major life decisions based on an audience that doesn't have to live with the consequences. We do. And that was a pretty damn good lesson for me. Now, speaking of uncomfortable shoes, my mom was always very put together. She had the right clothes, the right jewelry, the right shoes. When she left the house, she always looked like $1,000,000. And hey, there is nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with that. If that's what makes you feel good to do it. Me, at this point in my life, I'm choosing comfortable shoes. I'm still going to show up appropriately. I'm not going to walk in to work with cut-off jeans and look like I just rolled out of bed. But I'm not spending 8 hours on my feet killing me because somebody else has decided a certain pair of shoes look more professional. I'm comfortable. I'm appropriate. I'm good. And really, whose vote matters there? Mine. There's a saying I heard many years ago that has always stuck with me. What other people think about me is none of my business. Stop and think about that for a second. They're allowed to have an opinion, just like I'm allowed to have one. But if I'm making decisions about my life based on what somebody else thinks, well, whose life am I actually living? Now, that doesn't mean we shouldn't listen to people. Of course we should. Sometimes somebody who loves us sees something we don't. Sometimes somebody gives you advice and you think, wow, they're right. Listen to it, consider it, but then stop long enough to ask yourself, does this actually resonate with me? Does it feel right to me? Or am I saying yes because I think that's what I'm supposed to do? There's a big difference. And here's another part of this that I think is really interesting. How often are we judging ourselves before anybody else even gets a chance to? I can't wear that. I'll look stupid. I can't say that. They'll think I'm weird. I can't go there alone. People will wonder why I'm by myself. Wait. Just a minute. Did anybody actually say any of that? Or did you say it for them? Because sometimes we're so afraid somebody else is going to be judging us that we go ahead and do the damn job ourselves. And I've certainly had opportunities to think about that lately. I've written books that were pretty vulnerable. I'm doing this podcast, and some of them, they're pretty vulnerable as well. I talk about things I've experienced, things I've screwed up, things I'm still working through, and things I haven't really completely figured out yet. And sure, somebody could read something I've written and hear something I say and think differently about me afterward. Okay, who cares? We're human, all of us. We all have things we're proud of and things we're not. We've all made mistakes. We've all had moments we'd probably rather not put on the billboard. So if I spend my life hiding pieces of myself because somebody might judge me for being human, then I'm really not really being myself at all. So the next time you catch yourself thinking, what are people going to think? Ask yourself something else. What do I think? Wear the thing. Go somewhere by yourself. Take a class. Start a project. Say what you actually mean. Try something you've been wanting to try. And if you do it and think, nope, not for me, great. Don't do it again. But let that decision be yours. Not one you made because you were afraid somebody else wouldn't approve. And obviously, I'm not talking about doing something that harms somebody else. I'm talking about making choices that belong to you. Because here's the reality. Somebody may judge them, somebody may judge you. Let them. They're allowed to have an opinion. But they're not the ones that have to live with the consequences of the choices. You are. So maybe the question isn't really, what if nobody's judging you? Maybe it's, what if they are? Are you really going to let that stop you from living your own life? Because when it comes to your life, your vote is the one that counts. Run your own damn race, man. So hey, if this conversation resonated with you, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button, subscribe, or share it with somebody who might need to hear it. And of course, I've always loved to have you back. So hey, take care of your mind, and the rest has a better chance of falling into place. Until next time, this is Cece, and this is Cece Talks Life, real talk, real life.